In a world where shadows dictate the pace of life, we often find ourselves walking through a landscape of ash, carrying heavy weights that no one else sees. These burdens are not made of stone or metal, yet they pull at our spirits, bending our backs until the horizon is nothing but a distant, faded memory. Above us, the sky is filled with the heavy architecture of our own making, islands of doubt that loom over every step we take toward an uncertain future. Inside these bags lie the seeds of our exhaustion. They glow with a cold, pale light, pulsating like a heartbeat that has forgotten how to feel the warmth. Each stone bears the same inscription, a haunting phrase that echoes through the halls of the mind. Two simple words that can anchor a soul to the ground. The further we carry these stones, the deeper we sink into the mire of our own hesitation. The ground itself seems to conspire against our desperate forward motion. We believe that by holding on, we are being careful. We believe that by worrying, we are preparing for the worst. But we are only becoming prisoners. This is the silent migration of the overthinkers, a journey where the destination is always receding, hidden behind the fog of 1,000 possibilities that never happen. In this world, fear has no physical form, yet it possesses a weight that can crush the strongest heart. To survive, we must learn to see it. Deep within the abyss of the psyche stands a forge. Here, we try to craft solutions to problems that haven't even begun to exist in the real world. The blacksmith labors with a desperate intensity, his muscles strained as he attempts to forge a weapon out of his own anxiety, hoping to slay his fears. Every drop of effort, every ounce of logic applied to the irrational only creates more weight. Even his sweat crystallizes into the very stones he tries to escape. He strikes the anvil again and again, thinking that if he can just think hard enough, he can solve the mystery of his own recurring dread and worry. The sword of logic begins to take shape, a blade meant to cut through the what-ifs and provide the certainty that his soul so desperately craves tonight. But logic is a brittle tool when used against the ghosts of the future. His eyes reflect a fatigue that no amount of sleep can ever hope to cure. The moment he tries to wield his reason against his fear, the blade begins to fracture. You cannot fight a shadow with a weapon made of more shadow. While he focuses on the sword, the stones in his bag grow larger. The struggle itself is feeding the very burden he is trying to destroy once and for all. Our greatest mistake is believing that we can fight fear with more thinking. We are only pouring oil onto a fire that feeds on our mental energy. The world begins to spin, a dizzying cycle where every thought leads back to the same terrifying center. There is no ground left to stand upon anymore. The stones are no longer just in the bag. They have become the atmosphere. They circle him, a storm of possibilities that demand his attention and his fear. Every stone acts as a mirror, reflecting a different failure, a different judgment, or a future where he is left alone in the cold, dark silence. The whispers of overthinking turn into a deafening roar. It is a loop that offers no exit, a labyrinth made of light and fear that he cannot escape. To touch the thought is to invite it to stay. To fight the cycle is to strengthen the loop. He is drowning in a sea of intangible weight. Exhaustion is the final destination of the overthinker. When the mind can no longer run, the body simply gives up, buried by the weight of ghosts. The ghost of what if is the most persistent thief of time. It steals the present to pay for a future that will likely never even arrive. He is a prisoner of his own imagination, trapped in a cage where the bars are made of questions that have no answers in the physical world. The storm cannot be stopped with force. It is a mental weather pattern that only exists as long as we choose to remain within its darkening reach. In the depths of this exhaustion, there is a choice. But the choice is not to fight harder. It is to stop fighting altogether and let go. The first step toward freedom is the release of the struggle. He lets the logic fall away, accepting that some things cannot be solved by force. As the fighting stops, the atmosphere begins to change. A warmth, long forgotten, begins to stir in the silence that follows the end of the storm. Honesty and vulnerability are the true solvents of fear. One moment of genuine feeling is worth more than 1,000 hours of cold, calculated overthinking. He looks at his hands and sees not a warrior, but a human being who has been tired for far too long. The realization brings a quiet peace. The heaviest part of the burden is the choice to keep carrying it. He reaches for the buckle, the final lock on his self-imposed prison of thought. It is a small movement, a simple click, but it carries the weight of 1,000 miles. The choice to stop being the carrier of the past. As the strap slides away, the tension leaves his spine. He breathes in the air of the present, a scent that is fresh and free of ash. The islands of anxiety begin to float into the distance. Without his attention to anchor them, they have no power to stay in his mental sky. He sees the possibility of a different existence. A life where movement is not a struggle, but a graceful dance across the vastness of the possible. To let go is not to lose. It is to create the space necessary for something new and beautiful to finally take root and grow in peace. The burden transforms. The heavy leather and cold stones become light, becoming wings. What was once a weight is now the very thing that inspires. The questions that once haunted him now pop like bubbles in the sun. They were never solid. They were only as heavy as he believed them. He is rising. The absence of weight is a new sensation, a lightness that makes him feel as though he is made of starlight and morning air. He sees the others below, still trapped in the gray march. He wishes he could show them how easy it is to simply unbuckle the strap. The soul finds its wings in the moment of release. You cannot fly if you are still clinging to the stones of the earth with both hands. Breaking through the ceiling of his own doubt, he finds a sun that never sets. The clarity of the heights is a reward for his bravery. Freedom is a joyous movement. It is the realization that the sky was always there, waiting for him to look up from his heavy leather bag. The path is clear when the mind is empty of if and full of now. He is finally in the only place that matters, the present. The texture of life changes when we stop fearing it. The world becomes soft, inviting, and full of a potential that no longer feels like a threat. He is not alone in his flight. All across the horizon, sparks of light indicate others who have discovered the secret of the unburdened heart today. Every journey of 1,000 miles ends not with a final step, but with a final release. He stands on the peak of his own awakening. The sunset is not an end, but a celebration. The colors reflect the fire of a soul that has finally learned to burn for itself alone. He has returned to himself. The man who labored at the forge is gone, replaced by someone who knows that the only sword needed is peace. The ghosts have vanished. In their place is the reality of the wind, the sun, and the quiet rhythm of a heart that is finally home. We spend so much of our lives preparing for storms that never come, forgetting that the sun is always shining just above the clouds of our thoughts. Do not let the ghosts of what might be steal the beauty of what is. Your life is happening now, in the space between your breaths. The journey back to the present is the most important one you will ever take. It starts with the simple act of letting the bag fall. Release the what-ifs that bind you. Let the stones of yesterday dissolve into the light of today. You were always meant to fly, not crawl. Let go to fly. It is the mantra of the free, the song of the soul that has finally found its way home. The horizon is no longer a limit, but a promise of a life lived in the light of the present, free from the shadows. Walk lightly upon this earth. Carry only what nourishes your spirit, and leave the rest to the wind. Your journey into light has finally begun. Thank you for joining this journey of the mind. May your heart be light and your sky be clear. Be present, be free, and keep flying.